Deciding on your brand as a real estate agent.
First, let's hit it. Hi, it's Alan Victoria. Welcome to our channel and podcast.
And thank you for being here and part of
The Elephant Herd. The Elephant Herd is part of the Wolf Pack, our upline. If you have joined us as your sponsor on EXP, you're getting all of Mike Sherrod's courses because they're our upline, all of Connor Steinbrook's courses, and then you're also getting
of course us,
right?
Our books in Amazon, and also our courses that we are dedicated.
And we're definitely here to help you grow as a real estate agent so you can see the value. We are so excited that you are here and you get to see a lot of our stuff no matter what. Now let's...
Exactly. Therefore, what my wife that is super good as branding is, she's going to talk to you that the branding should be consistent, no?
Absolutely. Yours has to be consistent on all platforms and should definitely reflect you as a personal figure. Because you cannot pretend to be super creative and say super imaginative all the time, because if you want to be a creative type, but then if the thought of creating up every day upsets you and says, oh, I'm getting overwhelmed, I can't do it, well, then that's not your brand.
Exactly.
It cannot be your brand because that's not who you are. You just admitted that you get overwhelmed with those kind of things. So your brand has to value you. So you have to really kind of dig deep about yourself.
Exactly.
And we're going to ask you a couple questions, but you can go a lot deeper with this. We could have a whole day conversation on just this question on who you are, what sets you apart from other realtors, and how you want clients to perceive you. And like, just for instance, when I get perceived, people think my Capricorn comes out, so it means that people think I'm take charge, I need to do all of these things, but inside my Aquarius is really who I am. Just using astrology as a way to explain that sometimes who I am at home is not necessarily who I am when I'm out with the clients. So with that, we're going to ask you some questions so you can kind of really just dig into yourself about who you are, and that way we can help. What's the first?
Which is really important, even for whatever progress you wanted to make as your career. You need to know yourself better. But the question that first you want to ask yourself, because you are entrepreneur, therefore the first question is going to be, what is the area of my expertise? That is the question that first on the spot you should ask yourself. Like, are you wanted to sell a luxury? Are you investor types? Are you working on the commercial properties? What is your expertise and how you can brand yourself in that area?
And also maybe first-time home buyers is just really what pulls you towards them. So you have to kind of look at what your specialties are. What is your expertise? What do you feel comfortable doing every single day? Is there a very specific neighborhood? We're here in a very small town when we are making these videos. It's a growing city, but a small city, which makes how we would brand ourselves a little different than if we were in New York or LA
or Miami.
Right. So we're here in Greenville ourselves, but we could be anywhere, and we would just have to ask ourselves, what is our expertise and what values do we bring to the table and what would be our speciality?
Number two, basically you wanted to ask yourself, what is my personality look like? Are you casual? My wife talked about the Capricorn, Aquarius. Are you adventurous? Are you friendly? What you can present yourself, and to somehow each of us had some opinion about that.
And everybody is a little different. Now, if you are someone who always has to be a suit and tie, you're never going to be happy on casual Fridays wearing all just, your shorts all the time. On the other side, if you're like, I'm going to see how long I can wear my shorts all year round, that is my personality because I'm more laid back, then you're going to take a more laid back approach to lots of things, so including your branding. So just understand who your personality is in a lot of detail.
The next one, what is my target market? Therefore, this is a little bit linked for the first one, but there's a different...
expertise is the first one, and here is target. So maybe you are looking to change because there's a growing area in your a target market that you're not getting, so you want to add that. So it's possible.
Are you working, for example, with retiree? Are you working with the first-time home buyers? Are you really good working with the investors?
Right, so and who do you want to work with? So maybe you only do first-time home buyers, but your dream is to be in charge of leasing buildings, right? So how do you get there? So you want to target that, and maybe you're going to get away from me helping first timers and go to commercial landlord to where you are watching over a specific community. So if that's your target, you have a very different agenda than someone else who is targeting first time, of course.
The next question is, what values are important to me as a person? Am I wanted to be known as an honest person, transparent, or we need to prioritize all of this?
All right. So are you communicative? What are your values that are when you break down who you are? For me, I need to be honest and transparent, because if I am not a transparent person, I have a lot of problems. So I just need to be as transparent as possible. And I know I have no poker face, so therefore I can't lie. So therefore, if I can't lie, and I know I can't lie, then I have to make sure that honesty and integrity and being transparent is just part of who I am. Because if I try to lie to you, you're going to tell in my face. Let me try. Do you know the sky is purple? Purple and red. What do you think? You don't believe me, right? Of course not.
The next one is, what kind of basically image do I want to convey and project? Therefore, this is that what you wanted to be known as, like if you're a traditional person, are you a tech savvy or a cutting edge, no?
Right.
That you want to present yourself in the market.
So you have to look at what image you want to put out there. Maybe it is Mr. Suit and Tie because you are $1 million listing, and then you need to be that person. But once you've asked those questions, there's more. We're going to delve into all of these in way more detail.
Exactly.
But you need to start understanding who you are, because otherwise, if you do not understand who you are, then the branding doesn't help you at all. It just means that you're creating a fictional person instead of a real person, which is you.
Exactly.
So with all of your unique strengths, humanity, your values, your flaws, and your strengths, and you have to really dig in deep to understand that, so you are amazing at branding yourself.
And don't be afraid. Each of us have really unique characteristics that we actually attract different type of people. The people that might be attracted to me and my wife not might be attracted to you, no?
Right, and vice versa. So we all have something about us that is unique and different, and don't be afraid of who you are. Other things we're going to talk about, you're going to talk about creating a logo, creating a color scheme.
Yeah.
And I definitely have a lot of concepts and things to show you. Also, you want to develop, we're going to be talking about developing a unique value proposition that sets you apart from everybody else. And this is also where that tagline thing is going to come in. Developing your voice and your tone is going to reflect your personality and values. So I know I'm pushing it out there, which is really funny, because on the inside, I'm very much an introvert, but when I'm talking to you, I clearly cannot be. Right? Okay. And then what's the last thing? We're going to use all of this to
use to basically shape our online branding and our presence in the market.
So we're looking at our online social media, our website, all of your listings that you
even if you're doing the listing at people's house.
So your brand is reflecting your taste, your values, and it's really important to take time to understand your brand, who you are, what you're trying to be, and all of that. But there's a few more things that we're going to delve into more detail, which is what?
Exactly. The first thing that we wanted to talk is dress. No, dress for the success.
Right.
Because our appearance is super important. The first thing that everybody really judge on us at the first 2 seconds is how we appear to them.
Right, so even if you're casual and laid back, you don't want to be too casual. You don't want to show up in your pajamas. That's just not going to make you look professional. You cannot wear, obviously, you don't wear too super revealing clothes because people are going to take that in a different way. Make sure that you're looking professional. You don't have to look perfect. Nobody is perfect. In fact, if you look perfect, there's probably a problem there too. In how we present, but you do have to look professional. So don't get people distracted to looking at you instead of looking at the home.
Exactly. Therefore, we definitely wanted to dive into small things, at least for the way that we present ourselves, and that is how we wanted to be taught. And the second thing that we wanted to talk is really creating a professional workspace.
Now, when we first started our other channel,
Yes.
which is not necessarily about realtors, but we did not start with everything we have now. We started with more basic, but you can start with basic, but really to work on creating an online presence and who you are in your professional workspace. At EXP, we work from home a lot, so how we present ourselves on camera is super, super, super important. We have no physical office that we go to, which is one of the things I love about EXP. But you must have something that says that you're an online but still available.
Exactly. When you are in the cloud-based, basically brokerage, you want it to be also somehow tech savvy, you know?
Right. Last thing we want to talk about is
lighting and the background.
Right. So natural light when you are trying to create your workspace is, of course, wonderful to have. You should definitely have it. It makes your skin look better. It makes everything about us look natural.
Exactly.
Now, obviously for video, when we're making this video, we have way more than just that. We have our Ring camera, our lights, our background. You don't even see all of this stuff. But basically, the whole point is so you can visually see us. And we have our camera. We're going to talk all about these more in detail way later in the course. But basically, as we conclude, I want to quickly say, I know I've taken a lot and he wanted to jump in, but I wanted to quickly say these first couple of things. Once we get into actually the very next video logo, we're going to start here talking about the YouTube, but then we're going to create part 2. So if you're not part of the elephant herd, you're going to miss out on our part 2 and going into more detail about everything in our course. So I would totally recommend joining the elephant herd because we're here to help you.
And don't forget to call us with this number and also subscribe in our podcast and YouTube channel to support us.